So let's start coding our appointments form. I'll just double click it. And the first thing we need are the objects for the appointments and for the customers. Because in this form, we want to display a combination of appointments for customers. Remember, we have an SQL query that uses an inner join that combines the results of the customers and appointments table. And that's what we want to display in this data grid view on this form. So on the form level, I'm going to create a private object, and this one's gonna be appointments, and it's going to be a new instance of appointments. And the next one is the private customer object, and it's gonna be new instance of customers. And there's one more variable I want to create here, and that is to indicate whether the form is loading or not. When the form loads, let's just have a look at it, we want to display it actually blank. We don't want to populate the grid view with anything. We only want to do that when the user clicks the All button, and then we will populate the grid view with all the appointments, or the user will select a customer from the drop down here, and we will populate the grid view only with the appointments for this customer. So we only want to do anything in this form when an event has been detected, not when the form is first loaded. So I'm going to create a variable that's going to be a boolean that indicates whether the form is loading or not. So it's going to be private, I'll call it form loading, and that's a boolean, and I can set it here to true at first, because obviously when the form loads, that's gonna be true. So these are all the variables and objects we need, so now we can start coding the events. And the first one, I'm gonna do the all button click, so I'll double click that, because that one is going to be very simple. We simply want to display all the appointments. So in our data grid view for the appointments, I'm going to set the data source to equal the appointments dot, and we want the list of all appointments, which is the items. Let's go to our Solution Explorer and let's have a look at appointments. It's this property here, which is of type data table, so it will return all the appointments from the SQL statement that is inside the getData method. So it's the select all appointments. And next, let's start coding the load event.